She loved the preemies.
She just wanted to understand what was happening with these babies.
She helped to develop the whole field of neonatology.
Dr. Lou was such a quintessential lady who did exemplify how a woman can be all things.
She was not daunted by raising a family, raising a daughter with special needs, carrying on an active career. You could tell the incredible curiosity that she had.
She wanted to understand things, and so she would probe deeply on a question.
Her perseverance and curiosity really helped move things forward and helped answer questions about preterm babies and small babies that really weren't answered before and probably not even really thought about.
Our grandmother was Portia McKnight. Was the first woman actually to graduate from medical school in North Carolina.
My grandmother married and moved to Russia, and then they had 3 children, Alexis Jr., Portia, and my mother, Lula Olga.
The Russian Revolution was underway.
They were all trying to flee, but she didn't have her passport. The passport office then was raided. She went there. The person who was in charge was dead on the floor. And she went through the passports and found hers.
They left Russia very quickly. In order for them to get out of Russia, they had to go across Siberia, so they were actually on the Siberian Railroad. She told stories of being there, you know, whether they had enough food. And they had this baby who was only a few weeks old. Grandmother Portia moved to northeastern Colorado because her brother was a doctor and she went to practice with him. And at that point, our mother, Lula, was just finishing high school. Lula went to college at the University of Denver, and then she did go to the University of Colorado to medical school. She became interested in the babies and the things that affected the newborns.
She really regarded herself as a pediatrician whose job was to find the newborn who needed special support in order to survive and to thrive.
It was a different climate. There was a lot of resistance. You fed babies on a schedule, no matter what. You diapered them on a schedule. You took them away from the mothers and took them into a nursery and took care of them. And the mothers were lucky to see them.
People did not break babies into small for gestational age, appropriate, and large.
It's amazing to me that because of Dr. Lubchenco's observations, we now see size at birth through a completely different lens. We now know that size at birth, being small for gestational age or large for gestational age, has important consequences for that baby.
Getting that concept across that a baby could be small because it grew slowly was not so easy. And I felt that Lou and I had to have something that would catch on. And so it needed something that said, this is the way we'd address this issue. And that was the chart. Lou was good at collecting the data for each category, AGA, SGA, and saying, what are the problems of that category? You know, what are the things to look out for? It gave a framework for all sorts of clinical studies to go on, not just here, but all over the country.
We take this approach to newborn care, considering both gestational age and weight, as absolutely routine now.
It spread worldwide very quickly. In Europe, it caught on in Asia. I couldn't even believe what was going on.
Dr. Lubchenco's chart has really become universal.
Once you open the door and people see the usefulness of something, there's no going back.
Dr. Lubchenco was one of the first neonatologists to ask the question, how do preterm infants do later in life?
We set up methods so these kids could be followed and see how they turn out.
And she followed babies for 20, 30 plus years.
Lubchenco could get 90% follow-up at school age on babies that she had in the premature nursery. I'm telling you, it was just the most thorough thing that I've ever seen. In the early 60s, women were very rare in medicine. They had been excluded.
She taught me that women in medicine were very important. When Lou would speak, right on point.
You know, she persevered, and if she thought something was important, she didn't give up on it. And that's the hallmark that I remember most about Lou.
Many of the principles that Dr. Lubchenco championed live on today.
As a medical student, I absolutely remember flipping to that page and looking at the growth curve for preterm babies. To be in the same place where those were created is really profound in terms of Dr. Lubchenco's legacy and her journey in medicine.
She understood little babies. They couldn't talk, but she understood them. She was their spokesperson.